to interrupt.
All right, but don't touch anything. And if you have any questions, I'm sure Alexei will be happy to explain it to you.
Thank you. That's very nice of you. Are you the only scientists on board this train?
No, not as far as I know. Apparently there are a few on board, but the compartments are separated from one another, and the doors are being guarded by soldiers. That's too bad. It would have been interesting to discuss research results among yourselves. Well, hopefully we'll have enough time for that later.
You have no idea which of your other colleagues are on the train?
No. The only person who has a complete list of the scientists and scientific researchers is Professor Sidorkin.
I'll have to get my hands on this list. Then I'll know for sure if Dad is on the train or not, and exactly where I can find him. Who is this Sidorkin?
Professor Sidorkin? He is my direct superior and the scientific director of the biologists. You don't know him? He's an absolute genius in his field. There's hardly anyone who knows more than he does in the field of molecular biology.
Oh, that must have passed me by. Do you think I could talk with him for a moment?
He's right next door. But if I were you, I wouldn't bother him right now. He's under a lot of stress and is extremely irritable. And when I say extremely irritable, I mean even more irritable than me when I have to go 2 weeks without bread and jam.
Wow, that bad. Then I'll be careful. Why is he so irritable?
There are a few problems, but I'm not allowed to talk about it. I have to go back to work now. You'll excuse me. I'm not feeling so well. I must have swallowed the jam and bread a little too quickly. Alexei, please continue working here and tell Sidorkin as soon as you have the right result. I've got to go somewhere, and fast. Very fast.
A little liquid should be enough. It would look a little suspect if everything here were underwater.
Damn, why do the fuses have to choose to blow now? I have to go replace the fuses. Could you watch to make sure no one touches anything?
Sure, no problem.
Thanks.
I'll take very special care that nobody touches a thing in here, apart from my good self. That reminds me of my chemistry lessons. Not a pleasant memory. The assistant's table. I'll take the sample out of the glass. I have no idea what sort of plant this is from. One of the plant samples was in there. One of the samples that gets analyzed here. I'll take the sample out of the glass. What am I going to do with it? I'll just put one inside the other. I can't think of anything else spontaneously.
So hopefully the fuse doesn't blow on me again right away. And in the meantime, I really doubt if I will ever get any surprising results here. What? That can't be! Really? The sample didn't burn up completely? You can see that with the naked eye! I don't even need to do an analysis! I have to tell Dr. Lesniak! And maybe even Professor Sidorkin! This could actually be the big breakthrough! And I had almost stopped believing it would ever happen!
And you are absolutely sure that all the test conditions were controlled and complied with?
I always took random samples and rechecked everything. And I would put my hand into the fire to confirm Alexei's competence. I've worked with him for many years now.
So you performed the experiments. Did you notice anything different?
What kind of difference?
We have to check everything exactly. If the results are correct, it's a sensation. But if we register it as a sensation, and we've made a mistake, then the most we'll get afterward is a job in a natural history museum. So go through everything again slowly. We should look at the analysis together.
I only hope that we didn't miss anything. If the result is really correct, we'll go down in history.
The gentlemen are certainly very enthusiastic about their discovery. I should use this chance to have a look around Sidorkin's office. There won't be much time until this Sidorkin comes back. I'll have a look around his desk first. Maybe I'll find the passenger list at least. The documents are entitled Security Risks and Acute Threats to the Tunguska Project. I'll have a look at that, please. If I understand this correctly, in the last few years, several attacks have been carried out on official and secret research facilities. Documents were partly destroyed, but the culprits also do not seem to shy away from bomb attacks and arson either. Eyewitnesses report seeing men in black robes. It has not been possible for the authorities to capture any of the perpetrators. Then the Secret Service FSB was entrusted with this matter, but has not been able to produce any solid results in their investigations. The assumption that this is the work of political terrorists could not be confirmed. That the attacks are being carried out by a religiously motivated sect is also being considered. I wonder if they are the same men in black robes that Eddie apparently saw and was babbling about. If all that's true, then Daddy has got bigger problems than I feared. I've looked at the document. The piece of paper reads, "Place all documents in the safe each time you leave the room. Signed, W.I.L." If this safe has the employee list in it, then I should have a better look around here. Maybe I can find out exactly what is going on in Tunguska and what Daddy's got to do with it. It's huge! That's not normal. That must be genetically engineered. The drawer is secured with a very simple, but unfortunately, a very effective lock. Tunguska Project. Error analysis is written on these files. 2000 to 2003 at the top, and at the bottom it begins with 2004. There's not very much I can do with these in the time I have.
I thought so. The little toad is a snoop. I noticed you in Moscow at the train station, not in a good way. Toads remain toads, even when they are wearing clothes. But don't worry, we're going to take care of you now.
What is Kansky doing here in the middle of the night? Maybe I'm wrong, but I have a really bad feeling about him. I should definitely make sure he doesn't catch me. He probably hasn't forgotten the big bump on the back of his head yet. Finally, an answer to my question. I'm curious to see what my Irish colleague has found out.
Hi, Max. It took a little while, but the information you wanted wasn't so easy to get. It was a good thing you sent me the original letter. But I'll tell you more later. For starters, let's talk about the Irish company and the letterhead. This company used to belong to a man named Ken Morangi, and had something to do with plant fertilizer. The company was suddenly closed down, even though business was going pretty good. I unfortunately couldn't find out anything more about it either. Since then, Morangi lives like a hermit on a small island on the coast of Ireland. I've attached a map along with the mail. But now to an even more interesting story. I took a closer look at the letter you sent me. It isn't as empty as it looks at first glance. It apparently uses some kind of invisible ink. Not very imaginative, but it's apparently sufficient enough for people like you. Here are the contents of the letter. I hope you can understand it. Hello, Vladimir. Receive the documents. Copy is underway. We still have to settle the question of the handover. Ken, P.S. The whiskey is still waiting.
Wow, that sure does sound mysterious. Maybe this Morangi knows something that could help us. I'd better tell Nina. I wonder what she's doing right now. Hopefully she's doing okay. I'm really worried about her.
Damn. It is not my day today. First I sit with a bowel-sick psychopath in a train compartment, and now with a rabid dog. I've got to get out of here again quickly. As soon as we reach the next bigger village, they want to hand me over to the authorities. That would be the end of my search, and probably the end of me. A leather dog leash. It shows when and how much the dog is to be fed every day. There's a cuddly little lapdog in there playing with his little bone. Isn't he cute? A piece of bone. Before I get to that bone, the dog will be gnawing on mine. There's a cuddly little lapdog in there playing with his little bone. Isn't he cute? The dog seems to prefer the left half of the cage. Locked. There are a lot of pieces of meat in the box. I'll take myself a piece. It's too bad that I'm not a vegetarian. At least then I wouldn't have to seriously consider gulping the steak down raw. According to the top display, the temperature is 54 degrees Fahrenheit. The lower display shows a humidity of 28%. No visible effects. Not to be confused with Jensen. Above this hatch, freedom must be endless. Locked. A metal pipe. A vacuum cleaner hose. Long, flexible, and boring. I can't open the flap. It's stuck. Oh, brother. There must be harder things to do. So, he should be busy for a while. If I stick the flat side in the flap and then lever it open. There is a vacuum cleaner bag in there. I'll take it out. Do I have to rummage around in that? Yes, I suppose I probably do. A hairpin, model number 08/15. A tuft of hair from, an animal. Hopefully no one heard that. Otherwise, my problems are about to increase. The edges of the skylight are full of glass slivers. I wouldn't feel too good about holding on there. So, that pipe will never escape from me again. I could get onto the roof that way, as long as I don't slash an artery on those broken bits of glass.